Good morning, Store Nation. So welcome today. We are talking today about revenue. And I said I talk about my new site, my acquisition, and I will do. I get loads of questions about it, and I will do. But most importantly today, I want to just go through revenue because so many people are contacting me saying, Dean, we're losing square foot as well. What do we do? Revenue's down, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. It's really, really tough. And so what we need to do is take a step back and have a look at a little bit of perspective. And I'm just going to drag up my LinkedIn now because I did something about it yesterday. And I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into it and just try and put everyone's minds at rest exactly what is happening in the industry at the minute and why it's not as bad as we fear, why it's not as bad as we think. Don't get me wrong, writing a newsletter every day, MrSelfStorage.com, is killing me because I've got to write this bloody newsletter and tell everybody exactly how much square foot we're losing, revenue's down, everything. And I hate it. And it honestly, it does put me in a quite not negative or down, but because I don't get down a lot, but it does make me worry a lot. And so it's just good for a bit of context. So here we go. In 2016, we opened, and I'm just going to round the numbers up. If you want to know more, if you want to see it more in detail, I'll go to my LinkedIn or I'll do a section on it on MrSelfStorage.com, the newsletter, daily newsletter, sent out around 7 a.m. every morning. I'll do a section about it tomorrow. And so it'll be tomorrow morning when you get it. But I'll round these up for easy argument's sake here. I'll round them up or round them down. October 2016 to September 2017 at Willoughby. This is a new big site. So this is just Willoughby. We took 131,000. Then to next year, October 2017 to September 2018, we took 323,000, a massive jump. Now, don't get me wrong, this site is a huge site. Which nearly cost £1 million a shop fit for full amount. So we've had to do a lot of borrowing on that. Then there's the rent, the rates, the wages. So there's a lot of expense. The electric is really high here because it had 3-phase before, and it's on this meterage where you had to have it for the building size and because of the previous tenants and all that good stuff. Next year, October 2018 to September 2019, it only went from 320,000 to 410,000. So not a massive jump, 90,000. The next year got even worse. It went October 19 to 2020, it went to 457,000. So from 410 to 457, not a massive jump at all. For argument's sake, let's say 50 grand. However, COVID hit, and don't get me wrong, we maximized it. We rode that COVID tail. We increased prices. Our price to get in a self-storage was massive. We really did well. Our revenue management was absolutely a 10 out of 10. If I don't mind giving myself a pat on the back, it was good. October 2020 to October 2021, it was £740,000, 743. But for argument's sake, let's say 740. So it increased a massive amount. What was that, 70 or 80%? So from 450, say, so it increased nearly £300,000 in 1 year. What a jump. What a jump, my friends. And so before that, the 3 previous years, don't forget, it was around about a £90,000 increase, and then around about a £50,000 increase, and then it was £300,000 increase from 1 year to the next. And then October 2021 to September 2022, it was a big jump again. It went to £876,000. So from October 19 to October 21, them years, it doubled. Our revenue doubled. So from the previous year, so 876 in October 2021 to September 2022, it went from 743,000 to 876. So an increase again of over £100,000, about £125,000 in that year. And so now what we're seeing is the people who moved in, all the influx of people who moved in during the COVID times are slowly starting to move out. So obviously, it's not great, but we're seeing them people move out now. And we're not seeing the levels of people move in because it was extraordinary levels of people moving previously. And so they are moving out now, and we're not seeing the extraordinary amount of people moving in continue. Because why? Because COVID's changed, the economy's changed, the economic climate has changed, interest rates have gone up, there's a war, there's a recession. Everything compounded for that. And so please just expect to lose square footage in this time. And it doesn't, I did do a podcast a bit ago saying winter is coming. It is here. Winter is here. However, I do maintain that we are still getting the quotes. We are still getting the website visitors. We are still getting the traffic that we was getting during COVID. So I'm not saying we're going to get COVID results of people coming in, but it's not going to be too damn far off. I would say we're probably going to see a 30 to 40% drop off of people coming in as like there was at a height of COVID. That is still better than any other time. That the only problem is that we've got our blinkers on because all we're seeing is the amount of square foot moved out. And when we're seeing the amount of square foot moved out, we're not really focusing on the increased levels of move-ins, quotes, website traffic. We're not seeing that, because we're only focused on that big bad thing over there. We're not focused on that little good thing over here. So it will eventually stabilize. I think we've got another month or two of losing square footage, and then we'll stabilize. Then we'll stabilize and it'll be back to normal as it was previously. I hope. maybe even according to if we only look at the data and forget the fear, according to the data, then it is saying that it's actually going to be a better year in terms of the amount of people are going to move in than it was in previous years. I'm going to pause this right now because I'm going to do a summary in a minute, but I'm just going to play football with my kid at 8:15. So I will see you in a minute. And I'm back. So if anybody is eagle-eyed watching on LinkedIn or YouTube, you will find that I've got my coat on. Just been for a nice little walk after taking the kids to school. And it got me thinking about what I've just been saying about revenue. And I think I'm correct. Obviously, I think I'm correct. But I also think that I need to delve a little bit deeper as well and show you exactly what happened. Because this was it wasn't a mature site. Beverley is a mature site. And if I'm honest, I don't know the exact figures for revenue for Beverley's site, how it was impacted. I know COVID, what we're talking about. I know that there was a COVID bump and we increased prices. I know we lost square footage because of a competitor in the market. However, I know the revenue went up, but I don't know to what extent. If we look back at 2019 to 2020, 2019 October to September 2020 was 457,000. So say 460 for argument's sake. And then the next year, August 2020 to September 2021, it went up, say, for argument's sake, to 750. That is a huge jump, £300,000. I never, ever had that jump at all in all the other years, any of them 6 years. And it was down to two reasons, COVID, and we saw what was happening to the market, and we put the pedal to the metal and really, really accelerated revenue management in that situation, which has massively helped us. And so now I do feel like that, again, I was talking to the wife about this because the wife is seeing all the square footage go out and I'm like, oh God, we lost 1,200 square foot down, blah, blah, blah. But I just want to reiterate, we would expect that. And I want you guys to understand and not beat yourself up as well, because it is expected. It is expected for us to lose that square foot because all that flow of extra square foot came in. It has to come out at some point. Yes, we're going to have some sticky ones that last years and years and years, but the majority of people will come out at some point. So it's like the tide. The tide comes in. It's like that. I think Big Yellow did an advertisement about it. It was brilliant. Or was it Safe Store? I don't know. One of the big ones. The tide comes in, all the square foot comes out. And at some point, that tide got to come out. And now the tide's coming out. The problem is the tide that's coming in now isn't as big as the COVID tide. The COVID tide was a monsoon, a tsunami. And now this is just a normal standard wave. And so obviously, we're going to feel the square footage go out. It's just natural. And so for everybody out there who is worried and concerned about what's happening, it was expected without a doubt. However, like I said, it's still not easy to see the loss of revenue, but it's what we expect. It had to happen. And some of that tsunami that came in will stay. So we'll be in a better position than we was pre-COVID. We'll be in a better position because a lot of that tide that's came in has stuck. It's got trapped, and that square footage is going nowhere. So we are still in a lot better position than we was 3 years ago. However, it's just feeling a little bit tender, a little bit sore because we're feeling the pressure of that tide coming out now. And it's just natural. It is natural. So hopefully I put some people's minds at rest. And also, it's been like a therapy session for me as well, because I put my mind at rest as well. And also what I've been talking to some people about from the newsletter, got some really good things coming out. People are asking about manless sites, how I find my site. So again, the newsletter, I'm going to put all that stuff in there because if I can help just one person come into self-storage and start a self-storage business and have the financial freedom that I have, that I had before the tidal waves coming out, then it's worth it. And everybody loves self-storage. It is going to be a fantastic business. It's going to continue to be a fantastic business no matter what happens with recession, etc. With long-term thinking, long-term, this is a great business and you will do well to get into this business. So please, if you're new to the industry, please keep listening. I'll try to share as much as possible. And also sign up to the newsletter, MrSelfStorage.com. Put your email address there and we will send you loads of good stuff. All right, my friends. And if you're not new, by the way, even if you're an old timer in the industry, make sure you sign up as well, because we can always learn stuff from other people. I can learn stuff from new people in the industry, and you can learn stuff from new people as well. So let's not be all pig-headed and say it's not who's been in the industry the longest knows more. It isn't like that. We all come from different perspectives and we can all learn from each other. All right, my friends, I love you. I appreciate you. And I will be seeing you either tomorrow, depends if I have time to do a podcast, or definitely Friday. All right, love you, appreciate you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.